What's up, my fellow gangsters? Welcome to my Resident Evil 7 for PS4 review. Now, as far as the review goes, I'm not reviewing the VR part of it because when I first tried it, it was very lackluster. I had the original PS4, so I'm not sure that's just causing an issue or not, but it's still fun, don't get me wrong. Still a fun play on the VR, but I played it, I actually streamed it for 4 straight days on my Twitch and YouTube channels without VR, so it's very fun, it's awesome, recommend it. Well, I guess we'll see if I do or not. So, first off, there'll be no spoilers in this because there is a whole lot of spoilers to really spoil because it's already been said in some kind of news article or something like that. So, everything I'm saying is pretty much generic and just my opinion of the game. So, without further ado, let's jump into this review, don't we? Start with the cons here. Now, I have, I think, 4 cons on my list here. I guess the top one is kind of a big... kind of a spoiler to me, but there was a certain boss in the game. There's many boss fights. One in particular that I felt was very, very shitty and way the hell too easy and too scripted to the point where like you couldn't die if you wanted. It's kind of bullshit. I won't tell you which fight I'm talking about because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. But I want you guys to figure it out for yourself at home. But yeah, I thought it was too scripted and very, like, blah. I mean, they could have done better with it, in my opinion. The enemy types have always been very small. So you have your zombies, your basic dogs, your hunters, your lickers. But maybe 5 to 8 different types of enemies, or so 5 to 10. So, in this one, I thought they were lacking one enemy type, and it was the dogs, I think. If they would have added the dogs, would have been much more chaotic and much more... not scary, but much more hectic. I thought that would have been a nice touch. But other than that, the too few enemy types, I think they was still a nice touch to the game. I said that part was well balanced enough, but I think it's added the dogs probably would have made it much more chaotic and survival horde. Another point here is the Baker family. You see the Baker family. There's one Baker family person in general that you really don't fight. Again, I'm not going to say who because this is a very broad, generic review, but one person in general that you kind of just encounter them, but you don't really fight them as a boss. So, I thought that was kind of lackluster right there. But, the rest of the family though, dear God, they were a pain in the ass. The enemy types were good. They're getting to mold, in my opinion. To me, I think this is a Ouroboros test subject from RE5 because look at it, they look just like Ouroboros. Just like him. They can break apart, go into the drink, come back together anywhere they want. So I think, only because this is a prequel to 1, which that's a whole other topic, we'll get to that here in a minute. I feel this is like a test subject for Resident Evil 5 on Ouroboros. Makes sense to me. I think it makes sense. This last point kind of sticks with me because I felt very highly about this. Is some of the enemies felt cheap. Like, you literally shoot them in the head like 6 fucking times. They wouldn't die. On normal. But yet, some other times, you're like 1 inch over, and you shoot them in one spot and they lose their head. So, some monsters felt like a bullet sponge and they felt very cheap. But that's really about my 4 cons of the game. Everything else ran pretty smooth for me, I think. Except for the fact that the occasional, it wouldn't load the graphics up very, very quickly. And the load screens kind of take forever sometimes. But other than that, that was my con side of the game. Now for the pro side, which this list actually is actually longer than my con side of the list. So, first one up is going to be, to me, this felt like a Resident Evil 1 prequel. And it kind of stands out, obviously, because the ending has a surprise guest appearance. That, to me, is not a spoiler, so if you think it is, I'm sorry. But I'm not saying who. If you want to look it up for yourself, feel free to, but I would recommend it. Just play it for yourself. Play the game, enjoy the game. I was shocked by the ending of the game, meaning I thought it could have been better. As I said in earlier on, just the ending in general was Everything was that good. Again, very lackluster, but the ending isn't the full game experience. So let me keep going with my pros here, then you can I'll make my final decision. Covered it earlier, actually covered it just a minute ago about how I felt like this is a test ground for Ouroboros Resident Evil 5. Because they look exactly the damn same. I kind of had it done the list and said it anyways earlier, so, just sue me. Don't really, I'm just joking. To me, the Baker family made the game feel like a true horror game. True survival horror game. Even though there are scripted sections where they either go through a wall or they chase through a corridor. That part's scripted, but after that, they're unscripted part where you have to hide from them and you have to get away from them and without dying. So to me, that was a nice touch. You had no clue where they were. Some of the boss fights were actually pretty interesting. Some of them felt like I said, cheap, but yeah, I'll say it. To me, is awesome. I do plan on playing on Madhouse difficulty my second playthrough. There's actually 2 endings to the game, and this is. Again, no spoiler. I'm not telling you what happens here. So, again, I'm sorry if you think of this. You can either save 1 or 2 people. Depending on who you save, the game changes. I'm not sure what ending I did. I'm starting the background on my green screen. I'll be playing my streamed video from YouTube on it, so you guys can watch that. But yeah, it's all how you saved. It's all who you saved. Speaking of old school Resident Evils, they actually brought back the classic save rooms. I keep saying safe. Save rooms. With the classic save option of the tape player. Granted, the older one was typewriters. This one has tape players, which is kind of cool, I think. But there's actually very few save rooms, and they're actually truly safe. If you walk into the monster will not enter, which is nice. You have that in an item box. Definitely hit the nail on the head with that one. And speaking of Madhouse difficulty, if you are a fan of the old school Resident Evils, like I mentioned earlier, Madhouse will actually give you that back to you on Resident Evil 7. Madhouse is where you have to use cassette tapes to save your game, like ink ribbons. And it's higher difficulty, so it's upped. I'm not sure how it's upped. If it's faster and stronger, or is this faster and or stronger? I don't know, but I'm going to play that next. And then also all the items are moved around. So it's going to be a little harder to find items. And don't be like me, ask for help on the stream for find an item whenever the one door you never checked. And you had the key the whole time. I did that for like an hour. It was dumb. But overall, my experience with this game is I spent 10 hours playing it, and I got about 85% completed as far as the coins, the files, and the bobbleheads. So that's actually really good for me. I wasn't even looking for them at the time. So, and speaking of Resident Evils, just real fast, I want to top off the video. Sorry, I'm talking fast. I'm a little tired and I'm excited about the game. But my top 3 Resident Evils overall is now number 1 is Resident Evil 7 because it's the best survival horror game ever. I think it's awesome. 2 was Resident Evil 5 because even though it's action, that was one of my best action games. I thought 6 sucked. 5, hell, me and a buddy played it for almost, I think, a month straight. Just beat it back to back. And if you play the Resident Evil 5 on PC, there's a mod on there where it will actually make the game backwards. So you play from the last level to the first level. So it's even kind of fun. I might try later on also as well. In the final Resident Evil, my third favorite, it's either 2 or 3. I think it's Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, where the Nemesis always has like random QTE events. You have to like go this direction or that direction. That was about my third favorite one. Like I said, overall Resident Evil is my series. I love this game. This was an awesome game. Last one was awesome. 6 sucked. The rest of them were good. Hell, you even have an Outbreak for PS2, which I might even stream that one of these days. We'll see. Low screens are ridiculous. So, anyway, thanks for watching as always. Thanks for watching my Resident Evil 7 review. Did you play it? Did you buy it? Did you rent it? Did you think it was good, bad? Again, this is in my opinion only, so if you disagree, that's fine. That's understandable. Comment down below saying if you agree or disagree, and why and why not. Like I said, I'm just curious to know your opinion as always. So, but yes, I will see you guys in the next one.